Alright, what if we wanted to do today's sports? Well, today's sports is a pretty easy thing to do. First we want to go to the website, and we can go to mrwiesner.com, and then we're going to go to the dailies, and we're going to do, there's the dailies right there, daily, and we want daily sports. Sports. Athletic events, there we go. Alright, now you need to go whichever day you've been assigned. Just for fun, I'm going to go for the 28th of September. So here we are. These are the days which I'm going to do for my daily report for the sports. Okay? Now, make it kind of big, not too big, but kind of big. We're going to crop this once we put it into Splice. So we're going to put it into Splice, we're going to crop it. Take a screenshot. Okay, now go into Splice. Oops, go into Splice and make a new project. And the new project is going to be your last name, then your first name, and I'll just for fun use Smith John Smith. And then the date that this is going to air. So 09, oh my gosh, I can't remember which day that was that I just had up. Okay, so I'm going to have to close out of Splice and switch over to Safari. The 28th, September the 28th. Okay, so back to Splice, and we'll see if it didn't save it. Okay, so it was the 28th. So I'm going to try that again. So last name, Smith, then first name, John, then the month, 09, and the day, which was 28. And this is the sports. Okay. So, done. We're going to keep high definition, no border, landscape, transition is fine. Click done. We're going to put in that photo. So, photo, camera roll. Scroll to the bottom, very last thing on the camera roll, done. Click on it, it's going to need to be longer. Let's slow down a little bit. Touch the pencil to do some editing, touch the cropping tool, and then let's extend the duration to 10 seconds. There we go. Let's do a crop. Let's crop it. So that it's right in the middle there. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, we really need to record the audio before we do a whole lot of cropping. What we should do is actually make this kind of small in the middle, and you'll see why in just a moment. Okay, go ahead and click on Done. Now let's go to the audio line. So here is the audio on the top line. I'm sorry, the video. That's our title there. And you can kind of see in the background where it says the sports right there. So I'm going to try to read right through the screen. You can read right through the screen there. Alright, I'm going to say today's sporting events, and I'm going to need a little more space to record this. So let's go back to video, and let's just double that one time. So to double that, you go to edit by pressing the pencil, and then you double it with the ×2, and there you go, you've doubled it. It's the exact same slide. And then let's go to audio. Now we've got 20 seconds. I'm going to squeeze this together. We've got 20 seconds to record our audio. Okay, so here we go. Get ready to read. Right behind there. See if there's any home games in there. Go ahead and read the whole thing. But go nice and slow, take your time. Today's sports. At 7 o'clock, the boys varsity football team will be playing against Zealand. See, now I need to re-record that because I was all flubbered. What I should have done is I should have read it to myself first out loud or even silently in my head and made sure I knew what I was going to say. So I'm going to delete that one. Let's delete it. Okay, delete. Alright, pull the scrubber bar back to the beginning. So what do we have on there? This is a Saturday, 7 o'clock boys varsity football game, Zeeland West High. That doesn't make any sense because they don't play games on Saturday. 8 a.m. co-ed varsity cross country, Grand Rapids Union Invitational. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it there. 8:30 in the morning, girls varsity volleyball at West Ottawa. 10 in the morning, girls varsity swimming at Thornapple Kellogg, TK. 8 a.m. varsity cross country against Grand Rapids Union. 7 o'clock boys varsity football. I don't think there's a varsity football game on Saturday, so I don't think that's right. I'm not going to read that part. I'll read the rest of it, but I think that actually 20 seconds might be too short. So I'm going to go back to video. I'm going to double one more time. That way I've got 30 seconds, and you can see up at the top right that I've got 30 seconds there. Okay, so now let's try again. Go back to audio, and so I'm going to say it nice and slowly. One thing is to remember to record for a few seconds, like 5 seconds. There's a 5-second mark before you start talking. Today's sporting events. At 8 a.m. this morning, the varsity cross-country team will be playing in Grand Rapids. At 8:30, the girls varsity volleyball team will be playing at West Ottawa. And at 10 in the morning, the girls varsity swim team will be swimming at Thornapple Kellogg. All right, so I ran the whole 30 seconds out. Now, I'm going to squeeze this so I can see the whole thing, and I'm going to play it by pressing on the arrow and then pressing play. Today's sporting events. At 8 a.m. this morning, the varsity cross-country team will be playing in Grand Rapids. At 8:30, the girls varsity volleyball team will be playing at West Ottawa. And at 10 in the morning, the girls varsity swim team will be swimming at Thornapple Kellogg. All right, so that's pretty good. And we don't really need to trim that. The reason we don't need to trim that is because we're going to upload the file to Dropbox, and so we don't need to trim it at all. It's going to get trimmed later on. So the one thing we could do, though, is increase the volume. So let's play that again. Today's sporting events. At 8 a.m. this morning, the varsity cross-country team will be playing in Grand Rapids. Yep. At 8:30, the girl... Okay, so there we go. Now, let's go back to the video line. And we got 3 pictures in there. I'm going to try to zoom in on each of the 3 sports that I talked about. So in the first one, I'm going to start from here. Let's do a Ken Burns and show the whole thing. Crop Ken Burns. Okay. So let's show the whole thing to start with. Okay, I'm just going to include the day up here and the bottom event down here. Don't really like to have this on there, but it's kind of need a little more space. Okay, so then we're going to start talking about that cross-country meet. So we're going to zoom in. Something like that. Play it. There we go. A little bit of motion on there. And you know, the one thing I forgot is that we recorded 5 seconds of audio before. Let's just go to crop. Let's just crop it to the full thing. There we go. I think that'll work. Done. Let's go to the next clip. Again, it's the same clip. We're going to edit it a little bit. This one we're starting to talk about the exact events. So let's go down to the events. There we go. Nice and big. We don't have the title on there anymore. Yeah, that should work. Let's just keep it a nice still shot on that. Done. And finally, toward the end of the video, I guess we could do maybe just for fun, well, not just for fun, but we could do a slow pan across. So let's go to the Ken Burns again. Actually, it's doing a zoom out. That's a good idea. We could zoom out. Let's keep that. Let's just zoom out from there to show the whole thing. All right. That'll be fine. It'll give it a little bit of motion. All right. Now, is this the most interesting sports in the report in the world? No. Is it easy to read? Yes, it is easy to read. Are we going to be able to hear it? Yes. So the audio is the most important. We're able to hear it. Do we have a visual? Yes, we have a visual. Is it the most exciting visual? No. What would be more exciting? It'd be more exciting to actually see the teams. Some pictures of the teams when we're talking about the teams. If I had some pictures of the teams, I would put those in there. Of course, I'd need pictures of these particular teams. I suppose I could go on Google and find a picture of some cross-country runners, some volleyball players, and some swimmers, but unless they were wearing green and white, then it wouldn't be very exciting. Now, what would be exciting is if I went on the Wayland Union Schools district website and I found like the pictures of the teams, or I saw some pictures from the sporting events, and I put those in there. That would make this report a whole lot more interesting. So anyway, let's click on Preview, and we'll take a look at the whole thing. Today's sporting events. At 8 a.m. this morning, the varsity cross-country team will be playing in Grand Rapids. At 8:30, the girls varsity volleyball team will be playing at West Ottawa. And at 10 in the morning, the girls varsity swim team will be swimming at Thornapple Kellogg. All right, so let's export that. High definition. It's going to take a few seconds, but not too long because we're just using a video clip. Now, pretty much all the dailies can be done in this way. You can use Splice to make the daily. The first thing you need are some visuals or some pictures. So you get a few pictures, maybe just one picture to show what you're talking about, what the daily is about. Then make sure to record it. Make sure to record at least 5 seconds of silence before, 5 seconds of silence after. Include the whole thing when you render it and upload the whole thing because that's needed when we do the editing, especially when we start using transitions in our newscasts between the clips. And there it is on our line there. We got high definition. Today's sporting events. At 8 a.m. this morning, the varsity cross-country team will be playing. Notice how it's showing the whole thing here, which is not what it showed in the preview. The girls varsity volleyball team will be playing at West. And at 10 in the morning, the girls varsity swim team will be swimming at Thornapple Kellogg. All right, thank you very much for watching, and now definitely make one of your dailies. If you have questions, make sure to raise your hand and get the help of your teacher.